Hello everybody, today I'm here with some more Disney Mirrorverse and we're showcasing a new character today. You can see both Tigger and Jasmine on the screen here. I believe Jasmine is going to be first, so we're going to start with Jasmine. If you want to see me showcase Tigger, come back tomorrow. I am much more excited for Tigger, I have to say, but both of them are going to be pretty cool. Let's look at her full design here real quick. Yeah, I love the outfit. It's pretty cool. I wonder what she looks like next to Aladdin. And like the gold bits on her outfit are awesome. Here are her abilities. Jasmine is immune to dizzy debuffs, which... okay. Jasmine's basic dex has a 25% chance to grant her one dagger. Alright. This chance is increased by 50% against enemies with armor or wound and to 100% against enemies with indestructible buffs. Jasmine's heavy attack throws one projectile dealing 300% damage, then unleashes a flurry of all of her stored daggers, each dealing 35% damage. Alright. Special ability gains true strike buff, and also gains 2 daggers. Truest Sight. Jasmine has 4 more daggers. When she releases a heavy attack, she gains 25% attack buff for 8 seconds, max stacks of 1. The maximum amount of daggers Jasmine can hold is increased by 2, and daggers deal an additional 5%. So daggers are clearly a very big deal. It seems like daggers are given to you by using your heavy attack. Let's equip this one. And also, the maximum number of daggers Jasmine can hold is increased by 1, which is kind of crazy. It looks like basically all of the talents do that though, so as long as you have a talent on her, it'll increase the amount you can hold. For a rare one, we'll go with that one. And then we'll do the big boy, Pouncing Strikes. And then we can look at her bio here real quick. I wonder if this will be said in the design notes too, but it does mention Jafar in there, so that's pretty interesting. Let's go. We usually like to start out with just doing a 1v1 in the 1v1 showdown. We're on hard mode, trying to get some more of these done. So she's a range character, so keeping that in mind on the levels they want us to play. This one will do. And then she's up here. Alright, so now it's time to see the animations, which is always the most exciting part for me. I hope they did a good job with it. She's probably very acrobatic. She's holding the dagger already. And our scarf looked a bit weird there. Hopefully it's not too weird moving forward. Yeah, maybe the scarf physics they didn't do a great job on. It's hard to tell. So yeah, she's throwing her stuff from a distance. Use a heavy attack, get some daggers out there. She almost was like wielding it like Wolverine or something. But we won that pretty easily. It's almost like tiger claws or something. I always imagined when they added her that they would add like Raja with her moveset, and I thought that would always be cool, but it seems as though they did not do that. There we go. Yeah, I'm not blown away by any of the animations. It's pretty much exactly what I expected. Yeah, the scarf seems to act weird when she runs forward like that. I don't know why. So yeah, maybe trying to get more heavy attacks out this time. This guy's a little stronger. Oh, this is not going amazingly. Come on, die. Die right now, die right now. Oh my gosh. That was bad. I've heard that she's good. I saw people comparing her to Zerg too. Mostly because I'm pretty sure Zerg is one of the better range characters you can bring in, and that's what I thought when I played as him too. We're going to go into a tower and kind of just let things happen. I don't know if she's either of these, but we can try. I think this one's the new one, right? I don't know if she's a fortune seeker or not. Doesn't look like it. So we will take him out. Well, I don't know if I want 2 healers, but maybe bringing in him would be best. And then now I'm going to read the design notes for her. So, tell us about this Guardian's transformation. Stellar magic has amplified Jasmine's senses, allowing her to see, hear, and feel events around her with heightened awareness. Jasmine's heightened faculties allow her to see the strategy in all her actions and treachery where others would have only been tricked. When the evil vizier Jafar hypnotizes her father and takes control of the palace, it's up to Princess Jasmine and her stellar enhanced senses to save her people and rescue her city. While her enemies might not realize what hit them, the citizens of Agrabah whisper that the cloaked figure protecting them from the shadows, whose aim with the dagger they say is always true, is their very own rebel princess. So pretty much every princess in this game is a rebel princess, but definitely makes sense. Let's see. What were your design goals? With Jasmine, I wanted to create a character with a fun and engaging gameplay loop that makes her feel like she's building up to a master plan. In addition to this, I wanted her to have an ebb and flow in her kit, with really high spikes of damage that come from a non-special ability source. Jasmine's special ability doesn't actually deal damage, it instead gives her a true strike buff, which will amplify the overall damage she does from other areas in her kit. Jasmine is a very strong-willed and confident character. She's not easily swayed and doesn't back down. Mechanically, I wanted this aspect to translate into anti-mind control, so she has counters to Dizzy, Lure, Stun, and Root in her kit. Which is a fun idea, and I like the idea of kind of building up as you go. Maybe she's more of an endurance character, you know. What abilities does this Guardian have? We kind of went through that, and there's a lot there. Yeah, we've talked about all this. I'll just kind of briefly mention some of the things it says, like each of the talents give her another dagger she can store. We already talked about that. Jasmine gains focus buffs with the talent. So yeah, some specific stuff with the talents. You might have just freaking heard that in my Discord. And then Jasmine's basic decks stack and store daggers. She can release all sword daggers with her heavy attack to deal additional damage. So I was definitely wrong in how to store daggers. You store daggers by basic attacks, you release them with heavy attacks. Okay. Describe the Guardian's playstyle. Jasmine is best when manually controlled. She can be AI piloted, but because her loop focuses on building and releasing daggers, you will get the most out of her when playing as her. She's a Guardian who benefits greatly from timing and targeting due to conditions in which she gains daggers. Jasmine really shines in facing enemies with armor, evasion, indestructible, lure, and wound, so be sure to place her in strategic matchups. To get the most from Jasmine's DPS, you'll want to make sure she has a full talent build equipped to increase the amount of daggers she can hold. Once that's done, you use her basic attacks to start stacking daggers. When at max stacks, use her special ability to get a true strike buff, then use her heavy attack on the target to unleash all daggers. So it's basically telling you how you should play as her. Use all your basic attacks, get all your daggers, use your special to get as much damage as you can, and then use a heavy attack and you'll do a bunch of damage. What game modes does Guardian excel in? She excels in new master difficulty encounters, her limited event, and against the Stormborn Gatekeeper, since her true strike buff allows her to pierce through its evasion regardless of her ranged roll. With the right talent build, Jasmine can also counter Jafar in Chapter 7. Interesting. So I like the idea as well of making her a counter to Jafar specifically, since I like that being part of her story. What allies pair best with this Guardian? Jasmine works well with tanks who can lure enemies' damage away from her since she has less sustain, such as Genie, Simba, and Sully. She also works well with other Guardians who inflict wounds, such as Aladdin and Gaston, if you want to bring in a team with multiple damage dealers. With the right talent build, Mike Wazowski works well with Jasmine since he applies lure to enemies, but any support with large amounts of healing, such as Belle or Mickey, will do well to keep her alive. I do want to bring in Aladdin. Maybe we'll try that when I get back into playing. What enemies does his guardian counter? Jasmine is a strong counter to anyone who uses Dizzy and Lure, such as Cruella, Beast, Simba, Genie, Evil Queen, and Snow White. Because True Strike compares to evasion, she's a good counter to Peter Pan and the Stormborn Gatekeeper as well. Who is best to defeat this fractured guardian? Jasmine does not have a lot of sustain in her kit and is weak to burst damage from other offenders such as Maleficent and Gaston. Binding her, in parentheses, Kuzco, will prevent her from using her basic and heavy attacks, which will shut down her dagger loop. Violet's force fields will absorb enemies' daggers and other projectiles, making her the direct counter to Jasmine. So, long story short, the best character is Violet to counter her. Let's grab... Well, 4-5 might be when I need another character. No, it looks like we're good. I want to bring in Aladdin. Oh, and he's also a fortune guy, so we can actually maybe just bring in Mickey then. I think they actually fit pretty nicely together. They both look like this kind of rebel, stealthy... Well, less stealthy for her, for sure, but they kind of mention like she's a hooded rebel. Although maybe, like, Aladdin is the hooded rebel though, so maybe they're getting confused on who's actually protecting the city. Because I'd imagine both of these guys are. So, where do you see how many daggers she stored? I think that's maybe my problem. Where do you see that? Okay, so she's got 6. I can't remember if that's the max, but we might as well just do it. So we're gonna get this, and then we're going to... Bam! Did you see that? That was a pretty good amount of damage. Okay, no, she has way more daggers. How many can you have? She has 10 now. So we'll do this now. And then heavy attack. I mean, it just killed him. He was pretty close to death, so it's hard to tell. Yeah, it's hard to tell with these easier levels how much that's doing. But yeah, I think as long as you have a team where you're not just getting beat up, like that fight against, what's his name? The fight against Scrooge McDuck, for example. Like, I was not getting a lot of time to do what I wanted to do. To be fair, I didn't understand what I should be doing. But yeah, you gotta charge these up. So we're at we'll just do it since I have there. We got to 10. So, oops. Well, it's not gonna matter. Dang it! I'm trying to get it to see just how much damage, but it's hard on these levels where there isn't a tough enemy, you know. Let's see, how long have we been going here? They're also vacuuming upstairs, so that's really awesome. Anyways, we'll try to do one more here just to see if we can get another good look at her attack. I've heard she's really good, so if that's all you want to know, then that's all you need to know. That is going to be very loud and very annoying. There's nothing I can do about it. I apologize. They always decide they're going to be as loud as possible at the worst times. This is the quality content that you subscribe for. If you haven't subscribed already, well then what the heck are you doing? You can listen to me vacuum all the freaking time. So yeah, we're gonna... Let's see, we can definitely get a big attack on Simba. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Like, it did an okay amount of damage. I don't know. It's strange. Hard for me to tell, to be honest with you. Aladdin's almost dead. We should probably heal. Let's do this again, and then heavy attack. See, that one was much clearer of how much damage was being dealt to Belle. That was like 75% of her damage right there, so... Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to tell. I'm sure it's obvious to you guys what you think about her. My goal is not necessarily to know exactly what's happening, but to just present to you all the information so that you can do with it what you will. I've heard she's good. I've seen people comparing her to Zurg, who's also pretty good as a ranged character, so keep that in mind when deciding to purchase famed crystals for her. Let's wrap up so you don't have to listen to the vacuuming anymore. But she's pretty cool. We're going to do Tigger tomorrow. So thank you for watching, and I will see you then. Goodbye.